you've just changed the world, man. You just changed the world because you never know what people are going through. So this guy walks to the Golden Gate Bridge, he throws himself off and commits suicide. So they drag him out of the water. They found ID to go back to his apartment looking for next of kin. What they found is a letter on the table, and it read, I'm going to walk to the Golden Gate Bridge and commit suicide unless somebody on the way smiles at me, nods at me, says good morning. In that case, I'll stop right there, I'll turn around, and I'll try again tomorrow. So my question to everyone listening and watching now, how many people have you walked by today who's heading to the Golden Gate Bridge? Just never know.
A mental health break. We are back, and I hope everyone is safe in this storm. We're traveling to Texas today with Dr. Robb Kelly. Robb, it's great to see you.
Great to be here, Vincent. Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm excited for everything you can bring to this show. And everyone, welcome back to A Mental Health Break, the #1 podcast for mental health advocates. Together, my guest and I let you know that you are not alone. We give you tips from our experiences and everything in between. But Robb is a sought-after recovery expert who believes in treating the causes of addiction and not the symptoms. You may recognize him from The Doctors, Eye Opener, Good Morning Texas, and many more. He does a lot, but in the mental health space, it's your passion, you're giving back. What initially drew you to this field?
Oh my goodness, I'm an alcoholic who lost everything completely. Houses, wives, cars, kids. I mean, I was homeless for 14 months. So I knew that if I ever got off the streets, I'm going to spend the rest of my life helping people like me and the families. Because when I was back then, nobody knew what I was suffering from. Everyone thought alcoholics were the people who drank too much alcohol. I wasn't happy with that. So one of the reasons I keep doing what I'm doing is I'm sick to death of people dying, not knowing the true meaning behind what's happening with mental health and how it affects and how it works with the brain and the central nervous system and the subconscious and the conscious mind. It's crazy. So whatever I'm going to say on here has been tried, tested, researched. We have a 98% success rate, unheard of, and we're the only company in the world that offer you a money back guarantee. If you ever dive off into depression, relapse, or whatever, it's like I love what I do because I do what I love.
Well, congratulations on how far you've come. How many years now?
Don't count the years, to be honest with you, but it's been a few now.
Congratulations again, and it's great to
Thank
see
you.
you paying it forward to other people. What was a big turning point moment when you started turning things around? What was that aha moment where you got your stuff in check?
For me, it was I've been homeless for about 14 months. It was pouring down with rain. 7 suicide attempts, and on 2 occasions, I was dead on the side of the road when they brought me back. Huge spiritual awakening, early hours of the morning. I met a guy called Derek who introduced me to John, who we could never trace. He taught me some amazing things. And that's where my journey started, probably, I want to say about 28 years ago, maybe. So I got off the streets, and that was my big turning point right there that I could never look back on.
Well, you certainly started turning around. I'd love to just ask for some advice if there's anyone out there struggling with alcohol addiction. What advice can you give them?
Guys, you have to remember what alcoholism is, first of all, because we get taught and get told lots of things that isn't true of alcoholism. So alcohol has 1% to do with alcoholism, okay? If you're an AA guy, I'm going to ask you what step one says, and you're going to say we're all powerless over alcohol, and I'm going to say that's not what it says. So all these things that we hear and we do pertaining to mental health is kind of wrong. You can recover from anything that you're going through, A. B, you can be anybody you want to be. And C, once alcohol's out of your body for 72 hours, you can't crave. You hear it all the time. I'm craving. No, you're not. Childhood trauma is the gateway drug. Forget the alcohol. It's not the alcohol. I've been sober for a week and then I keep relapsing. Anybody can get sober and you stay sober. When you take the first drink, can you stop? It's that kind of thing. And there's 3 parts of the brain that differ: the hypothalamus, basal ganglia, and the amygdala. And the hypothalamus will blow your mind when I tell you what part that plays in the relapse situation. So unless you sort all of that out, you will keep relapsing and you will die.
Thank you for sharing all of that. You could tell that your passion is in this, that all of these things you're sharing, you're courageous enough to share that story. Now, present day, what are some things you do to take care of your mental health?
I have a strict routine. I'm up. I've just lost 150 something pounds. So at the age of six,
Congratulations. All right.
yeah. So I'm the best 63-year-old around. I like to think very fit. Still got a lot of muscle on me. But I get up in the morning at 6. I'm in the gym for 7 with my personal trainer. She puts me through the routine. I get up. I have a light breakfast. And then I go to work. Even if we don't have a lot on, I get to work. The routine is good. I get massages. I often go for meditation and stuff like that. Yoga. I've just started yoga. So it's very easy in this industry to forget yourself. My old sponsor say to me, "You're great at looking after people, but who's looking after you, Rob?" And that really hit me hard. I was working so much with people about 15 years ago that he put me in a mental hospital because I had a breakdown. Because I'm trying to save everybody because I knew what I had. So, I take it easy today. I can help. We've done about, I want to say 9,000 people we've helped over the last 25, 30 years in this industry. I have a lot of fun. I have a lot of toys, but I'm quite aware that I'm a spiritual guy. I don't go to church. I don't read the Bible. But I know that when I finally get to heaven, because I do believe there's a heaven, I know what God's not going to ask me. How much was that house you lived in? How much was that crazy car that you bought? It's going to ask me one thing. How many people did you save, Rob? And I want a big number.
It's all about the purpose that we can make the mission that it can't just be financially driven. I was a guy, finance degree, MBA. I thought that's what I wanted. Then I get hit by a car and I have a traumatic brain injury. Everything changes to where now the money will come. You have to follow something where you're making a difference. I love that. What was the original vision for when you started out this company? Because I know now, as you said, 9,000 clients over the history. What was it like at the beginning?
Was just me with a PhD in psychology. I got a later PhD in behavioral science, but it was just me trying to help one person. I probably had one person at, I don't know, $5 many years ago when I was working with them. I had no idea that I would, speak in front of millions, be on TV, have books out there. We deal with A-list celebrities. We deal with movie stars. I'm the go-to guy kind of thing. We write for Harvard University's McLean Hospital, that. But 25% of our work is pro bono. I want to put that out there. So yeah, I had no idea. I mean, we're a multi-million dollar company, and we have 5 or 6 offices around the world. I mean, it's mind blowing where I am today. But I have a wife that keeps me grounded because I always, just like you, Vincent, if I get $50,000 in the bank, I'm never going to worry about money. Well, 100, we've got just 100. But if I get a million, Janet, if I get a million, well, we'll get five. Let's get and 10. And it just didn't stop. It's like all this money. I'm driving to work one day, Vincent. I got a brand new 911 turbo, blah, blah, blah. It's like 200 grand's worth of car. I'm living in a huge house. I have offices in Highland Park where the rent is $20,000 a month. This is amazing. I was the saddest person in the world. And I realized there that money's never going to bring me happiness, that it's an inside job. And if I don't use most of my money to give back, then I might as well go drink and use because there's no purpose for me. Everybody has a purpose in life. This is what I know over the 30 years I've been doing this. Everybody has the chance to be a leader. Everybody can recover. I mean, look at your story, for instance. It's crazy. And one of the reasons why I do this today at 63, I don't, you'll never hear me sell my services on here. I have enough. I got enough patience, enough money, brilliant. Get on the list for 25% pro. No, if me and you can save one person today and turn around and go, Vincent and Rob, on that, that's all we need. I mean, that today is the most successful day I could ever have.
This passion is contagious through the screen. Again, everyone, this is a motivational path for you where it's not about where you're starting. If you get your mind on it, you can get to where you're going to be and what you ultimately deserve. Did you ever have any fears speaking in public? I know there's mental health
Oh,
challenges with that. Some
stop
people would
it.
rather jump on a plane. Yeah.
Oh, horrible. Absolutely horrible. And even today, I'll get sick the day of. I'll literally vomit, and I'll be so nervous. And I have people around that calm me down. But I was terrible at speaking in front of people, and the more I do it, I don't know if it gets any easier. I don't think it does, but one thing I do is I mentally prepare by trying to calm down and just remember staying in the now. And secondly, when I actually go on to speak anywhere, I never remember what I say. I like go blank.
Yeah.
So I kind of rely on that, going, hey, this is not my words. I'm just going to go on. And I literally black out, Vincent. And I come off to applause. God, thank God. And then people come on and go, oh my God, when you said this. And I go, said what? When you said this. And I don't remember saying that. It's the craziest thing. But yeah, terrible, terrible nerves.
It's something that if you're not doing it every day, even me,
Oh,
if I'm going only month to month now, really speaking, you still get the butterflies, that anxiety rush, that deep breath. Come on, and you just go up there and it's over. And then you're like, what happened? I love that
right.
analogy because you get in the zone and you just want to give back. You're motivated and dedicated to doing that. What's one thing we should know that we haven't learned about you yet or your company?
That's obviously 98% success rate. We have the Robb Kelly Foundation that started about 3 weeks ago, where
Okay,
we're
let's stop right there. Let's talk about the foundation.
brilliant. So we started this as Ray Trevino is the CEO. I'm kind of in the background, but yeah, it's a foundation that we knew quite well that when we're dealing with mental health, that when we get the family involved, and I don't mean treatment center where they go there and it's Billy did this and Billy did no, when they do their work, the success rate of the patient goes up by 42%. So let's look at where it starts. Let's look at the kids. So we're helping the kids, we're helping the parents with mental health. Nothing else. It's jobs and no, we're doing them two things. We're going to build a multi-billion-dollar foundation. I'm going to help as many people as I can. I want a 100-bed facility in San Antonio. I want a 100-bed facility in Florida. We do a lot of work in Boca Raton. So yeah, I mean, I just think that it's about time. It's about time I did this. So yeah, we're full blast on there. Nobody gets paid in the foundation. We have a board that does it free of charge. We have people free of charge, and nobody will ever. But Vincent, this is important to us. So you donate money to a cause, and that's it. If you guys out there, let's say you donated $100 to our foundation. That $100, let's say for instance, like we've done shortly, is they got a guy. He's going to court. He's asking the judge for 1 day a week to get his kid back. Okay, we will buy him a suit. We'll pay for his legal fees. We'll do all that. So what happens is when you donate the $100 and it goes to him, you'll get an email off that guy saying, "Hey, with your $100, I put it to another $100, and I bought a suit for court, and now I get my kid back once a week." That's how we're going to do things.
Showing them exactly where the money's going.
Correct. Because I think I'm not saying anything bad to anybody here, but I think that if people knew exactly where the money went, they would feel more part of rather than just letting go. There's going to be never any CEO's payday. Your money will go direct to those who need it. And there's so many people that need it. Me and my wife give $150,000 back every year back into this cause. So somebody said, why don't you start a foundation instead of paying all that money? So we're starting a foundation and we're still going to pay it. So yeah, that's the key for me, Vincent, is as long as I'm giving back, I'm going to be okay.
I love that. And I love the big minded mission. We've got Florida. We're going here. I look forward to seeing your success continue to unravel. Look forward to seeing more and more people that you're helping along the way because it's not easy every day, especially as men in mental health, as stereotypical as it may be. I don't get a lot of men to come on the show as much just for different reasons, right?
Yeah.
Society.
Yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, it's the way it is. I mean, you need to stand up. My idea was stand up, be a man, be counted. Everyone knows what I've been through. Everyone knows who I am today. I'm standing tall. I'm standing loud. I'm very loud, very aggressive sometimes, but I'm passionate. But yeah, you're right. Not many people want to come forward. And we work with these movie stars, and not one of them will come forward because of the stigma. Not one of them after they get well. And I understand that. But for the likes of me and you, and I want to thank you for what you do, Vincent. We stand up and we be counted. I'm not saying that we're real men or we're not. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we're leaders and we need to realize we're leaders and we need to realize how much effect we have on society as leaders. And if you're listening or watching this podcast right now, you're not doing this by mistake. So if you're sat in a one-bedroom apartment and the wife took off with the kids and you are a leader, this is experience. This is your semester at Harvard University to use as your greatest asset going forward. You see, this is not your lot in life. I hated everybody when I was on the streets. But you know, when I look back now, there's a semester at Harvard. The knowledge I got through going. And 4 years ago, my eldest daughter, after 30 years, Vincent got in contact with me. We flew over there. We hugged. She handed me my 3-month-old granddaughter, and she's now my lead therapist in my Manchester office. How does that happen? I'll tell you what happens, guys. You've got to keep true to the cause. You've got to stand undiscounted, not in the great days, but when it gets tough. You've still got to think about that leader because it will come true.
Not in the best days, not in the sunny days when it's challenging. And that must have been a very special moment for you. Let's talk
Oh,
about that a little more.
yeah. Well, the last thing she said to me at age 3 when the authorities took them off me was she said 3 things. Daddy, Daddy, please get better. Daddy, Daddy, please don't go. And the last thing she said to me was, Daddy, Daddy, please stop drinking. 6 weeks after that, I was homeless. I'd lost everything. And I never saw the children. So when I got a message in the middle of the night on Messenger, bing, and I couldn't see properly. So I leant over, blurredly looking at the phone, and it was my daughter. And this is how she led it, Vincent. Hey, Dad. She called me Dad. I still have that framed on my wall. I want to see you. I've got something to show you, So we have people around us. So, in the next 2 hours, we're on a plane going over there. And I stood outside a door the next day and I couldn't knock on the door, Vincent, because all that past trauma came. What kind of father was you? You never was there, blah, blah. And she opened the door unexpectedly. And obviously we hugged and we cried. And then she took me by the hand into a living room and handed me my 3-month-old granddaughter. And right there and then, Vincent, I I could have died easily right there. A happy man, I mean, I didn't think it'd get any better until 4 weeks ago when my youngest daughter got in contact with me. Now I have both my daughters in my life. I have my sister that's in America now. I have a restaurant. She runs the restaurant. I stuck for words, man. From a homeless alcoholic bum begging on the streets, hurting people, to what I am today. And I realize that the biggest crime to mankind is not realizing who you are today. Is not reading how much power. Oh, watch my ego. When you've been through what we've been through mental health wise, there's no such thing as ego. Let's take that off the table, guys. You don't want to get to when you're 80 and look back and go, oh my God, I was really good then when I was 60. People admired me, but you've got to realize that what you do, what you say, how you dress, how you speak, how you act in public is inspiring people. And if you don't think you can do that, guys, try this for me. Next time you're in a built up area of people, sneakers are always the best. When you see somebody walking up with sneakers that are nice, 2 words, nice sneakers. He'll say, oh, thank you, man. When he walks past you, turn around and watch him. He's going to look down at his sneakers at least 2 to 3 times. Now you've made his day. But guess what? When he goes home, his wife or girlfriend, because he's in a good mood, she's in a good mood. Then the mother-in-law calls. You've just changed the world, man. You've just changed the world because you never know what people are going through. So this guy walks to the Golden Gate Bridge, he throws himself off and commits suicide. So they drag him out of the water. They found ID to go back to his apartment looking for next of kin. What they found was a letter on the table, and it read, I'm going to walk to the Golden Gate Bridge and commit suicide unless somebody on the way smiles at me, nods at me, says good morning. In that case, I'll stop right there. I'll turn around and I'll try again tomorrow. So my question to everyone listening and watching now, how many people have you walked by today who's heading to the Golden Gate Bridge? Just never know.
Powerful share, Rob. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for everything you brought to the episode today. It's a true honor to get to know you today. I look forward again to seeing all the great work you do in your communities. Where can we find more information about all this great work online?
I spell my name with 2 B's, ROBBKELLY.com. It's the website, or Dr. Robb Kelly in any search engine. Come and say hi. There is a book out there. You'll see Daddy, Daddy, Please Stop Drinking. Please don't go into Amazon just for this show with Vincent. Message me on Facebook. I will sign a copy. I will pay all the shipping. I'll send it to you free of charge on one condition. A, you mention you're from Vincent's show. And secondly, pass it on to somebody else when you finish with it.
That's an incredibly kind offer. I'm typing it up as I put it here, getting ready for the conclusion of the show. Everyone be sure to go online, check out what he has to offer, and be inspired. Play the episode back again next week. More on the show is a mental health break, all podcast platforms, all social media platforms, and this show is brought to you by Coming Alive Podcast Production. Your go-to source, head to comingalivepodcastproduction.com to learn more. But with that, we're signing off. Texas to Florida. Robb, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.